From lightning-fast strikes to unstoppable power punches, we're counting down the most brutal MMA knockouts that left fighters flat on the canvas and fans in absolute shock. But before we jump in, a quick reminder: if you appreciate top-notch content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, let's go.
Oh, big right, DJ! He's stunned! Big knee! That's it! In one championship.
Look at the way he dropped under to find a hold for the right and then the flying knee to get it done.
Let's start with the fight between Jimmy Manuwa and Anthony Rea. At the beginning, Anthony did a great job of putting pressure on Manuwa, forcing him to work at close range, and even hurting him briefly.
3-2 combination in boxing, and again with the left hook from Rea, and I told you! The right hand's low on Manuwa, and he got caught!
However, things changed toward the end of the round 1, when Manuwa began to outstrike Anthony, and as the round was closing, Manuwa landed a beautiful fight-ending combo.
And Rea responded, left hook of his own, there's another from Manuwa, forces him back against the cage. Rea goes for a takedown. He's got to get up on the ball to his feet a little more here, Anthony Rea.
And it's been and a huge left hand.
From Manuwa! Uppercut from Manuwa, there's the left hook again from Rea. A back and forth contest. Oh, spinning back fist! Can Manuwa finish? Can Manuwa finish? Big elbows, big elbows!
It is! Right at the end of the round, Mike! I think it's right at the end of the round.
Here at how it went down, spinning back fist, Rea doing the chicken dance, and the high left round kick.
It's at the end of round 3.
Boom! Boom!
I mean, did you think you had him out then?
Next, Rob Hill vs Isaac Hardman. The first round was more of a feeling out process, with Hardman collecting data as a technical counter-striker, while Rob tried to apply early bulldog pressure to disrupt Hardman's rhythm. By the second round, Hardman was ready with that sniper-like kill shot, landing cleanly on the incoming Rob.
Isaac guessing, so then he can find his shots.
Oh, again the right hand gets through, and the right body, and the left body kick, sorry.
And there's that red.
Oh!
It's all over! One punch took it out from Isaac Hardman, and he celebrates as he maintains the lightweight title. Big right hand. Look at that. Rob was out on his feet. His eyes were rolling back into his head. Oh, big right. He ran right into it.
Right on the button.
And Isaac knew exactly what he's done. Didn't even bother to follow up.
Wow.
And of course, there it is. Knockout.
Next up, Hatsu Hiyoki vs Mikuru Asakura. Both fighters were confident in their striking ability, so they began exchanging early and with certainty. As the round progressed, Hiyoki started feeling himself a bit too much, dropping his hands and relying purely on his reactions to evade Mikuru's attacks. Mikuru noticed that opening and responded with a perfectly timed high kick counter. Let's move on to the fight between Paul Daly and Morera Darosha. From the opening bell, Paul applied smart pressure. He wasn't throwing a high volume of strikes, but instead was patiently searching for his comfort zone, operating in boxing range and working effectively in the clinch.
So they didn't quite land, and again another chopping elbow. Because let's get this straight, this really is one of those scenarios where one punch changes it, or a big jumping knee.
So we can counter your reactions.
Now that looks good from Hocha, but all of it's been tucked up and tight and taken on the arms.
You know, favors the judges. If you keep a guy against the cage.
He's definitely better on the inside there, Frank.
Jeez.
This is where he's explosive on the inside. This is where Daly gets the better of him. You saw that beautiful combination. He's a real danger in there, obviously, and that one's straight, just a bit low, but he's opening up now, and Daly opens up with the kick and the knee in response.
By the end of the second round, Paul showcased a masterclass in classic boxing, delivering punishing shot to the body.
Now he's finally starting to hunt with a minute 30 left in the second round.
Oh, beautiful body shot, that lift to the body. This is all over. This is all over. What punch to the body, Frank.
He knew
knew that he had some kind of opening, and he jumped right to it, and that was flush. Like, he hit that so well, he dipped it like he was gonna come up with a, he hits him with a freaking, you know, with a, excuse me, he dips it like he's gonna hit him with a right overhand.
Next up, Takanori Gomei vs Melvin Gillard. These two delivered pure action from the opening bell, immediately engaging in wild brawl and refusing to give up an inch of the ring. Slugfests like this rarely last long, and this was no exception. In the chaotic exchanges, Gomei proved to be the more powerful and precise puncher. Next, Ronald Paradeiser vs Cake Breto. For the first two rounds it was a solid competitive fight, with both men having their moments. Nothing too wild, but this isn't video about the most exciting back and forth battles. It's all about knockouts. And the knockout came from Breto, who displayed incredible technique on his spinning attacks.
But yeah, this spin is really causing a problem. He's landed it multiple times and then goes for it again.
Oh, again! He's rocked him!
That's hurt him big time!
Cobwebs, the Ronnie Paradeiser, a spinning attack that's connected. And no! Again! That's it! That's it! Oh, he's back!
On to the next one. Johnny back Jabbor vs Magomet Umarkadziev. Jabborov didn't even bother trying to strike with Magomet and went for takedowns from the get-go. But Magomet, you could almost tell by his name, had solid wrestling defense. He shut down all the attempts and by the end of the first round found an opening to land a brutal flying knee.
Уmarkadzieва возле уха, я так понимаю, да. Есть сечка. Но это не должно мешать Жейбегу. Колено в прыжке. Неплохо. Неплохо он поддавливает. Еще одно колено! Все! Ашот Ашугян тут же остановил встречу. Все, в первом раунде смотрим еще раз. Правое колено точно в челюсть. Там еще и головой ударился о стойку. Пытаются привести в чувство сейчас.
Precise and piercing striking was on full display from Khon Joyf in his fight against Nurbek Tajibayv. Tajibayv pressed forward, looking to cut Joyf off from the center of the cage and force the action. But Joyf stood his ground and answered immediately with powerful, well-timed counters. Those sharp responses made a difference, helping him secure a first-round finish.
Контрпанчик, стиль тогда на всех. Левым хуком
An absolute masterclass in kicking technique was on full display by Zagv in his fight against Artem Ilchuk. Zagv didn't hesitate to unleash wild kicks right from the opening moments, and sometimes those risky attacks pay off. That was exactly the case here, as Zagv landed a beautiful kill shot midway through the first round.
И удар с вращением, и это нокаут, и победа досрочная. Аджба из Абхазии, ему 32, например. Смотрим еще раз. И добивающие удары здесь не понадобились.
Speaking of spectacular kick finishes, it rarely gets more wild and brutal than the fight between Shohazan Mirzamarov and Akbar Azari Far. Just 1 minute into the bout, Mirzamarov sent Azari Far to the Shadow Realm with a devastating, face-crushing head kick.
Дәл соққыға еңкейіп қалды. Бір ғана соққы. Мирзаматов. Міне, аяқ қомтылам деген сәтті. Тіпті артық соққының керек жоқ екенін білген, көрдіңіздер ме? Мирзаматов ары қарай соққы жаудырмай-ақ.
Another wild and fast finish came in the fight between Khon Kilmas and James Bishop. After a brief clinch exchange, Bishop suffered a nasty cut that started bleeding immediately. Realizing he might only have a few minutes before the referee stopped the fight, he tapped into his inner savage and unleashed everything he had.
Yeah, dropping some heavy punches of his own, Bishop.
Khon in a really... Oh, he's knocked him out, he's hit him! A knee, it's over! This is over! It's over! Bishop has dropped him with a knee!
Wow.
Massive knee by James Bishop! I love it, I love it. James Bishop very excited. Here we go. Does good clinch work, some good shuffling for position, got him down. Got back up, bang. That was it, left knee right on the button. Khon did pretty well, good stoppage though. I think it's a great stoppage by the referee.
Let's move on to a short but absolutely wild fight between Eddie Stassi and Uwe Schuder. Schuder came out aggressively, landing some heavy shots and putting real pressure on Tasti.
Dargestellt hat auf den Videos, Uwe in sich. Das ist
Wow! Das erste Ding hat gleich mal gesessen, aber Edis kommt wieder gut hoch mit einem Kniestoß. Doch ein Stück auseinander ist. Uwe macht weiter. Die nächste Führhand sitzt. Und Edis kommt wieder hoch. Alter Schwede! Das gibt's ja nicht!
But Eddie quickly collected himself and began overstriking Uwe in the clinch, completely turning the tide and taking control of the fight in dramatic fashion.
Wie Edis sich von der Rückenlage aus macht, aber... Und Uwe hat richtig gutes Fahrwasser. Der hat jetzt richtig Momentum hier.
Ja, Edis muss schauen, dass die Distanz länger hält. Wenn
Uwe macht die präziseren Treffer.
Gutes Knie von Edis.
Oh! Edis trifft mit den Knieschüssen. Uwe taumelt. Und die Halle rastet komplett aus. Hier gibt's keinen Hand mehr. Uwe geht runter.
Hat Uwe die Deckung da, wo sie sein muss. Die Schläge gehen nicht klar.
Die Halle flippt schon komplett. Hier luft's gleich das Dach weg.
Und
TKO in Runde 1 für Edis.
Perfect example of protect yourself at all times in MMA fight was showcased in the fight between Angisak and Adam Horvat. Horvat went for an early takedown, but Kerim reversed him and ended up in Adam's guard, unleashing heavy ground and pound.
Wenn durch die Visa-Probleme von seinem eigentlichen Gegner jemand Neues bekommt, aber auch den schüttet jetzt.
Der Treffer!
Angisak schlägt weiter. Die Dinger scheppern richtig, geht aber auch zum Körper. Also nicht nur zum Kopf.
After a few minutes, Adam, still focused on grappling, tried to get back up, completely ignoring his striking defense, and he paid for it dearly.
Noch 80 Sekunden auf der Uhr im ersten Durchgang.
Oben mit Schlägen ihn einzudecken. Als Horvat dann kurz in den Stand zurückkam, ist hier diese rechte.
Next up, Yodakai Fertex vs Wolsung Khon. Despite being the underdog and the less experienced fighter, Wolsung didn't care about the odds. He came out swinging and absolutely starched Fertex within just 20 seconds of the first round.
Immediately he starts circling to the weak side. Y2K clipped it! Was huge from Wong! And there's going to be no... Ow. Okay, rewind. Slow motion please, Truck. Look at this. Boom! There's the right hand right over the top. Seen on the cake. Look at that. Bango! His feet stay right there. He moves into the punch, doesn't overextend, comes right over the top with the right hand. Off of the leg kick, too, no less.
Next, Roberto Soldi vs Sebastian Kadesta. These two European savages didn't want to give an inch of the octagon. From the very first second, they were calculating how to do the most damage possible, with Soldi clearly pressing the action more.
Oh, another big left, good combination from Soldi.
Kick like that will give him a little bit more to think about.
High kick from Kadesta. Through break. A smile there from Kadesta after the head kick from Soldic. Soldic has got him under siege at the moment. Another straight left. Again to the body and up top.
Showboating coming from Kadesta. Yeah, right there you saw Soldic with the elbow as well. That elbow couldn't sneak through.
The second round kicked off even wilder. Soldi got over-aggressive and paid the price when Kadesta caught him with a perfect left counter that left him truly staggered.
Soldic in the red gloves, Kadesta in the blue. Down goes Soldic, lost his balance, and now firing away is Kadesta. Kadesta smelling blood. Soldic in trouble and down he goes! Trying to get back up. Kadesta with a left and a right. Soldic down again! It's over!
Next, Atte Gautier vs Vuk Lekic. Gautier confidently took the center of the ring with one clear intention in his eyes, to end the fight as soon as possible, and that's exactly what he did. Midway through the first round, he landed a devastating head kick. Another calculated, fast, assassin-like first-round finish was showcased by Fabricio Andraj against Jeremy Positive. From the opening bell, Fabricio locked in on his target, Jeremy's body. He systematically brutalized it with heavy kicks, breaking him down piece by piece.
Cracks the round kick to the lower right ribs. Body shot, package 2 gets caught.
That's it. And it's over. On the entry, watch this. Look at this, coming in and just shutting.
Need a liver, perfectly placed, close the whole body down you.
Let's move on to the fight between Paul Daly and Romario da Silva. As always, Daly applied steady pressure, slowly stalking Romario, cutting off the cage and looking to land his shots in mid to close range. In the first round, Romario did a solid job of dealing with Paul's straightforward approach, managing distance and avoiding the worst of the exchanges. But in the second round, Daly truly began to loosen up. He began delivering his punches with full force, showcasing his superior boxing skills.
Paul has the better punching, but doesn't mean that Silva can't catch him, so this fight can still go either way.
Oh, as you said that, they both landed. The Silva looks like a wounded animal now, Frank.
Paul got hurt, Paul got stung a little bit right there. At the same time that you're throwing, he's throwing.
Well, it's like that old cliche of
Next, Alejandro Cayetano vs Joao Elias. The fight didn't start well for Alejandro. A clear striker, he aimed to maintain distance and work from the outside, but Elias completely shut those plans down by securing a quick takedown. For most of the first round, Alejandro found himself fighting off his back. However, the moment Alejandro found an opportunity to get back to his feet, he wasted no time. He immediately launched a full-force attack, shifting the momentum in dramatic fashion.
Done, 2 minutes ago, but now look, he's using that reach. Oh, he hurt him.
Oh my God!
Beautiful right hand.
Oh, the knee! Oh, he goes down!
Oh man! What a knockout!
Alejandro Muka Cayetano knocks out Joao Alicate Elias with a knee.
And there must have been like seconds left to go in the round. This is a what a finish.
Next up, the clash between Robert Pukac and Christian Eskerlin. Eskerlin came out fired up, riding the home crowd energy and doing enough to edge the opening round with pressure and activity.
Und hat Pukac hier unter Druck schon, früh in der ersten Runde. Arbeitet schön mit dem Jab.
BJJ Braungurt hat letztes Jahr von seinem Jiu-Jitsu-Coach Megi verliehen bekommen.
But as the fight went on, Pukac settled in, found his timing and began landing the heavier, cleaner shots. By the third round, Pukac shifted into full kill mode, unleashing a wild but calculated barrage.
Pukac hat an seiner Deckung echt gut gearbeitet. Und am Käfig.
Eskerlin geht runter. Pukac kann das Ende schmecken. Und Prinz von Bratislava siegt.
Let's move on to the fight between Yodakai Fertex and Alex Shield. Fertex put on a striking clinic, delivering a masterclass in low kicks from the opening round. Shield knew the danger standing at range and repeatedly tried to bring the fight to the ground. Meanwhile, Fertex stayed disciplined on the outside, picking his shots and hammering the legs with brutal precision.
Out of there, out of there, out of there. Right hand go. Back away, back away. You're good there. Back away. Hands up, hands up. I can right hand high. Throw something after that one.
By the third round, Shield's legs were visibly compromised. Sensing the damage, Fertex kept targeting them, piling on punishment until Shield simply couldn't withstand it any longer.
Right hand go, right hand go.
Let the hands go, please. Yes. Make him stand up. Make him stand up.
We just need one time to down.
Make it. There we go. Go.
Stop.
How to deal with a wrestler trying to stall the fight in the clinch was perfectly demonstrated by Ilyas Hamzin in his bout against Alexei Chernyavsky. Chernavsky clearly wanted no part of the striking exchanges, so he pressed forward aggressively, hunting for the clinch and looking to slow the tempo against the cage. Hamzin stayed composed, defending grips, controlling head position and preventing clean takedowns. But by the end of the first round, Hamzin shifted from pure defense to dangerous offense.
И еще одна попытка от Алексея Чернявского. Хорошо по корпусу попадает, это нокаут, да! Вот так вот! Таких нокаутов по корпусу я давненько не видел. Подтвердил репутацию нокаутера, финишера. Ну а Алексею скорейшего восстановления мы желаем, конечно же. В любом случае, ему огромное уважение.
Next up, the clash between Sebastian Kadestam and Agilan Tani. The fight opened as a competitive striking battle, with Tani mixing in takedown attempts to keep Kadestam guessing. But as the rounds progressed, Kadestam's more diverse and dangerous stand-up began to take control.
Down defense is looking pretty sharp so far, and he is outside linking Kadestam. On the jab to the top of the head from Tani, leads the right hand follow through. Kadestam. A lot of these shots from Tani are missing the head movement, connecting with these shots. But Kadestam, oh, beautiful spinning back kick.
By the third round, Kadestam completely took over, and he steamrolled Agilan with sheer intensity.
These two men haven't slowed, they've up the tempo, they've up the volume here in the third round. A knee! Throws the left hand to the power side. Kadestam backs him up behind him. To spur on and encourage Agilan Tani to dig deep. It's an intestinal fortitude. Oh, the left hook! Sebastian Kadestam owning Agilan Tani in the stand-up. The downward elbow, the crossing elbow. It's all Tani. Sebastian Kadestam, what a match! And a big left hook to finish.
Next, Michael Morales vs Ricardo Centeno. Morales scored a quick finish in this one, catching Ricardo with a clean uppercut in the first round.
Estos últimos golpes les faltó un poco de línea, es decir.
Logró muy bien evitar ese derribo que intentó Ricardo, ¿no?
Pero Michael muestra una buena quijada, una buena absorción, ¿no? Pero la verdad es que la derecha de Ricardo entró nítida. Esta crispación durante 5 minutos, ¿no? Es complicado. Sucesión, pero Michael está mostrando una excelente combinación, un excelente uppercut. Vamos a ver, es decir, o sea, no podemos olvidar, es decir, además de eso, si quieres la división más.
Another fast and brutal finish happened in the fight between Rasul Mirzaev and Abdul Rahman Dudaev. After a few minutes of a feeling out process, they suddenly started throwing bombs. The exchanges got wild quickly, and one of those heavy trades ended badly and brutally for Mirzaev.
И попадает Расул Мирзаев! Бежит добивать! Отдал руку! Что будет дальше? Отпустит или нет? Поднимается Дудаев!
Чем просто попытка нанести урон, и здесь опять прижимает! Опять колено, но по блоку.
Вертушка не получается, апкик тоже.
Как будто бы ищет возможность контратаковать.
Хайкик! Подскользнулся Расул Мирзаев.
Не сегодняшних, но в целом да. И опять застаивается Мирзаев. Нет! Все!
Все кончено! Упал назад, ударился затылком.
Next, Natalisio Filio vs Faridun Adilov. Adilov started tagging Filio early with powerful punches, sealing the deal midway through the first round.
Пытается все-таки достать и Наталисию Филию, но у него не очень получается. Фаридун явно быстрее. Удар в голову, пошли добивающий удар. Все! Фаридун Адилов. Смотрим через руку. Попадает Фаридун Адилов. Подкосились ноги. Глухая защита. Раз, два, три. И Максим Протасов отталкивает Адилова.
Next up, Asakura vs Hiromasa Ogikubo. Asakura confidently took the center of the ring and immediately began showcasing his world-class striking. By the end of the first round, his shots had become too deadly and precise, and Ogikubo was no longer able to withstand them.
をされました朝倉選手には喧嘩道様より勝利者賞が、そして見事 KO 勝利を収めた朝倉選手には
Next, Bibir Tumenov vs Alexander Grozin. Right from the opening bell, Tumenov overwhelmed Grozin with fast, sharp hand combinations. Grozin appeared intimidated by the speed and was forced onto the back foot early. Midway through the first round, Tumenov began landing heavy shots cleanly, and that was all she wrote for Grozin.
Здесь же борьба завершена, пока завершена, кто знает. Джеб. И мощное попадание! Идет добивать Бибир Туменов, но нет, спрятал там голову Грозин. Есть там сечка у Грозина. Он отбивается, пытается это делать, защищается, но кажется, все сейчас будет закончено. Еще одна атака, все! Затем победа над Фройсом, и вот сегодня вот такое поражение. Ну а Бибир Туменов...
Another fast and brutal finish via punches was delivered by Alimardan Abdikarov in his fight against Saifullah Jabrailov. Jabrailov came out aggressively, taking the center of the ring and pressing forward, but Alimardan was sharp and composed throughout. He began tagging Jabrailov with hard counters, and eventually one of them proved decisive.
Да, кажется, там без флеш-нокдауна не обошлось. Скачки, атака, опять Алимардан точит. Так что прямо сейчас чуть было апсет вечера не случился. Ну, конечно, там есть поединки, где будут еще более мощные ставки. По корпусу! И еще один удар, добивает, все! Алимардан Абдикаров выигрывает досрочно у Сайфуллы Джабраилова. 9 побед Сайфуллы Джабраилова. Алимардан одерживает 23-ю победу и 13-ю победу нокаутом. Еще раз смотрим.
Let's move on to the fight between Leon Edwards and Sean Taylor. Taylor made it a grueling, difficult contest for Edwards. From the opening bell, he leaned heavily on his wrestling and applied constant pressure throughout first 2 rounds. However, in the third round, the tide turned. Edwards began landing sharp counters with precision, and one of them connected flush.
Yeah, it's so easy for him to pick him off.
The left hand again, and this time he follows it up strongly. I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's been really good technical performance by Edwards. And again, it's all over Mark Wood. I've seen enough this time, Frank.
Take me to the knockout. My coach was telling me throw the jab.
Next up, Mark Diakisi vs Rick Selvaraja. This one was over fast. Just 20 seconds into the fight, Mark landed a brutal fight-ending bomb.
Diagonally, laterally, in and out.
Oh, that's it! Who would have saw that coming? Oh my goodness! He talked the talk, he walks the walk! What?
It's incredible. And here we go, you can see Selvaraja move laterally, left and right. But it's when Diakisi pumped that jab 3 times and then launched that nuclear missile.
Oh, unbelievable. And here we go again. Bang, that is it. That shot, the rest is it's not necessary.
Another brutal first round finish came in the fight between Kiyoma Akimoto and Suguru Nii. Kiyoma was sharp from the opening bell. He applied smart, constant pressure, tagging Suguru with calculated shots, while effectively stuffing his takedown attempts. By the end of the first round, Kiyoma had zeroed in on Suguru's body and broke him down in devastating fashion. Let's move on to the fight between Demetrius Johnson and Adriano Moraes. For 3 rounds, it was a high-level clash between 2 elite flyweights. Moraes used his size and grappling to control key moments early, while Johnson relied on speed, sharp angles and precise striking to create openings. The bout ended in spectacular fashion in round 4. Johnson landed a perfectly timed flying knee that dropped Moraes, then followed up with ground strikes.
Slightly smaller movements.
Oh, big right, DJ! They stunned him! Big knee! That's it! In one championship.
Look at the way he ducked under to find a hold for the...
Next, Ikram Aliskerov vs Khamzat Chimaev. Right from the opening bell, Khamzat applied heavy pressure, but Ikram did a solid job of containing Chimaev's aggressive energy early on.
Fire at each other.
cobwebs clear, Kieran.
However, midway through the first round, Khamzat caught him with a brutal uppercut that sealed the deal. An absolutely clinical performance was put on by Galore Bufando in his fight with Wendla Lewis. Lewis tried to outwrestle the dynamic striker early, but Bufando weathered the early storm and began showcasing his high-level striking.
I mean, who'd you get to come along to throw these unorthodox kicks and punches?
But Lewis keeping cool, calm and collected. I want to see what he's going to bring, and I'm waiting, I'm excited to see it. And that's what he's bringing.
Beautiful. Beautiful uppercut.
Just before the buzzer, at the end of round 1, Bufando unleashed some deadly, Bruce Lee-like offense.
Bufando just firing that leg out there.
Oh, beautiful.
Big shot, he's got him! He's got him!
Unbelievable! Is a sling. Unbelievable here at the Truxie.
We talked about this man's explosive athleticism.
Man in front of you.
Do you know what it is though? Here we go with the replay. Oh!
Beautiful.
And that didn't even shake him.
That one.
That didn't even shake him, that one. That was the body kick. His arms dropped, that hurt him.
And it's here.
He just came flicking those punches and kicks out.
And there it is. That was right. Oh,
and it was the right hand behind him.
Then the hammer fists come down. You got Galore Bufando. They're all, when people watched him on the screen, they want to practice it. And the only way they're going to be good at it is if they practice it in the gym. So there's going to be many, many more to come.
Let's move on to the fight between Alex Pereira and Marcus Vincius. Marcus tried to make the fight as ugly as possible, by constantly looking to outwrestle Pereira. Alex's best chances came in the brief striking exchanges.
É especialista em luta agarrada, então ele prontamente saber de trocação com seu adversário.
Aí o Flávio Almendra reiniciando a luta, agora sim! Agora sim! O Alex Pereira foi, encaixou o chute alto. O Marcos Tatu tentou ali pegar de luta. Aí o chute rodado. Não encontrou a distância exata. Responde bem, parte para cima na trocação. Outra vez. Pressiona. Aí o Alex tenta ali a joelhada.
And in the second round he made the most out of one of those exchanges, unloading a ruthless fight-ending combination on Marcus.
Para o final do segundo round, perdão. Olha só, agora a trocação. Trabalhou ajoelhado, um chute alto duríssimo. E aí a galera não gosta e o Alex, quando conectou os golpes, olha só o cruzado. O upper de esquerda. Agora vai, outra vez o cruzado. Outra vez o cruzado, o upper de esquerda. Vai na combinação, outra vez. E agora acabou. O Marcos não mostrou um arsenal mais variado. Aí na trocação, no momento, olha só a combinação de golpes. Aí cruzado de esquerda, depois ajoelhada, depois chute alto. Aí que começou, ó. Aí ali, chute alto, ó.
Ali foi o início do fim pro seu jogo, mas aí, quando deram 30 segundos pro Alex Spartan soltar sua trocação, toda sua combinação de golpes.
Next, Smiley Kibasa vs Paulo Silva. Silva had no interest in trading strikes with Smiley, and the second round showed exactly why. Kibasa caught Paulo coming in with a brutal spinning elbow that shut his lights out.
That is concerning, and he looked up at the clock. Different angle. Oh yeah, he had it. That was completely intended. He had it. On the button. Top shot. Oh, wow. Good night. So fast. Oh, spinning elbow. Back elbow. That's the fancy stuff that gets the win.
On to the next one, Shara Bullet vs Yoel Tiger. Right from the opening bell, Shara began to demonstrate his elite timing, precision and overall striking ability.
Большую паузу берет Шарбудин и еще один лоу.
Разножка такая тоже классическая от Шарбудина и сразу сайдкик в голову и так обозлился чуть-чуть Жоэль.
Нельзя застаиваться. Еще одно попадание.
Жестко между перчаток пытается уже идти бороться Жоэль, но начинает реагировать уже даже на финты от Шарбудина.
Ну что, как закончит эту встречу Шарбудин?
Сейчас его соперника Шарбудин.
Времени еще очень много, минута 50. И превращается в мишень Жоэль Дос Сантос.
Да он не знает, что делать, просто здесь уже видно.
The conclusion came in the second round, when Bullet caught him with a perfectly timed hook kick.
Который, ну, просто львиную долю работает сейчас. Вот это красиво!
Это конец, ребята! Просто срубил пяткой.
Ну, пытался еще уклониться, но в итоге... Вот сейчас посмотрим. Другого ракурса. Да, ну туда четко за ухо было попадание.
Next, Ilia Topuria versus Steven Goncalves. After dominating on the ground and attempting submissions, Ilia decided to showcase his striking in the second half of the first round. He perfectly timed a powerful right hand that shut Steven's light out instantly.
Looking to draw some more blood. He needs to get his back off that cage.
Oh, he gets caught!
Right on the chin. If you drew a target on the chin.
Next, Tateo Ido versus Sasuke. This was a striking battle from start to finish, with both men trading shots. Tateo appeared overly confident, smiling during exchanges like he'd already won the lottery.
そうですね。あとはまあ総合的にやっぱりこの打倒曲で勝負する方が。
じいさんこれ、飯田の方はやや離れ気味に時折こう突っ込んでくると。サスケ選手は基本的なスタイルで距離を詰めて打っていくのに対して。
He didn't win the lottery, but he did win a ticket to the Shadow Realm when Sasuke knocked him out with a brutal spinning elbow.
本当ですね。やっぱり声があるのいいですね。観客席の方からも。
さあ選手も乗っていけるか。バックハンドエイジ引いた。こういう結末か。やっぱりうわ
すごい。
カウンターですね。しかも飯田の方も右から本当下から。
Next up, Michael Page versus Ben Dishman. This was domination from start to finish by Michael Page. He outstruck Dishman with ease and finished the fight in spectacular fashion.
Look at the hands down by the sides.
Showboat.
Very confident man, gentlemen.
Nice and that was a big leg kick. Michael Page having a lot of fun in here. Oh, and there's a nice uppercut. The London shoot fighter screaming at him, telling him to take it seriously. And there's a spinning kick. That is unbelievable.
He turns, he kicks, he stands.
Let's be honest, gentlemen, I've not seen anybody with this kind of confidence for a very long time.
UK Anderson Silva. Wow.
There it is.
Next, Zabit Magomet Sharipov versus Sheikh Mansour. Zabit's timing and reaction in this fight were epic. Slowly but surely, he figured out Sheikh's distance and patterns, surgically dismantling him in the octagon.
Ищет удар длинный, такой острый удар у Забита Магомед Шарипова. И левый хай-кик в область головы точно.
Да, мне кажется, немного застаивается.
Справа через руку и туда в дополнение слева и левый сбоку. Туда же в подбородок. Вот это нокаут. И еще раз повторно левый сбоку в область подбородка. Тяжелейший нокаут. Главное событие вечера. Сейчас уходит клуб Zagv Fighters. И непосредственно спортсмену Забиту Магомед Шарипову, великолепному бойцу, который идет победоносно, без поражений, серия побед.
Next up, Israel Adesanya versus Stu Dare. From the very start, Stu came out swinging, aggressively going for the takedown. But Israel weathered the early storm and began to showcase his crisp striking by the later half of the first round.
He's looking to keep the distance to kick him, exactly. Oh, big straight left hand down the middle.
Adesanya now looking for his range. That did.
Right before the buzzer, Israel landed a devastating kick that sent Stu into another dimension.
He's backing up a little bit. Adesanya's starting to move in. He's got 40 seconds.
Adesanya just taunting Dare.
Oh, okay, he's bringing it now.
The warning there from Plenion's the fingers. Knee again there from Adesanya.
Stu's got to try and catch his breath. Kick in the face. Adesanya's moving in for the victory.
10 seconds. For the round, question mark kick. No question there. Stu Dare actually straight on the side of the chair.
Next, Jakub Kediev versus Shara Bullet. These two went to war from the opening bell, with Jakub pressing hard, which is risky against a skilled counter-striker like Shara.
Поджимает к сетке и тут же разряжается серией ударов с двух рук. Но что делает в ответ Шарапудин Магомедов? Активно.
И хороший хайкик теперь.
Хорошо рвет дистанцию, вынуждает вымахиваться в холостую Якуба.
By the second half of the first round, Bullet displayed flawless execution of knees from the tie clinch, quickly sealing the deal.
Магомедов, колени летят, Якуб отвечает руками.
Уже есть следы от попаданий и у одного, и у другого на корпусе у Якуба Кадиева. Ух ты, а вот этим ударом-то пробил прям соперника еще раз туда же, да.
Еще серия с одной руки, но сразу несколько ударов бросает Шарапудин Магомедов.
Да, и явно, да, вот здесь прочувствовал удар, и это...
A masterful display of distance control was on full show by Michael Page in his fight against Jefferson George. Jefferson came out confident, looking to trade strikes in the first round.
Oh, big right hand there by Page.
And there's the dancing.
The crowd for
listen to the MVP chants. Oh, spinning back kick to the body. This man is a human highlight reel.
I'll tell you what, Ian, he must get his training partners from the GB Olympic team because this guy's got
his acrobatic kick.
Oh, over the top.
Kick.
Pulling it all out the bag. Jefferson with a huge right.
But by the second round, after Page had downloaded all the data, he went for a playful yet precise kill shot in his signature style.
He's doing a great job at the moment. Walking his man down.
Oh!
He's out! But then he's over! Wow!
As we see the replay coming forward, and this is where he had that success. He landed a nice 1-2, chased it up with a kick and then backed off. Page coming in, he raked that lead right hand, he was coming in over the top with it forward. But Page wound up and it was a 1-2 straight on the chin, and he knew straight away his man was out cold. A little bit of a shiver and a 1-2 down.
He'd been throwing that right hand from the beginning of the fight.
Next, Rodrigo Praya versus Mansur Khabibulaev. From the very first second, Mansur began feinting and setting traps. He threw some spinning attacks early to gouge Rodrigo's reactions. By the second half of the first round, after two feints, he unleashed a fight-ending spinning heel kick.
Попытается, по крайней мере...
Вы это видели? Еще раз. Удар с разворота точно в челюсть. В лучших традициях Магомеда Бибулатова.
100%. Первый, кто приходит на ум. И еще разок.
Прямо в основании челюсти зарядил Шейх Мансур. Еще раз смотрим. Удар с вращением и акцент там, где нужно.
Speaking of spinning attacks, it rarely gets better than what Zabit Magomet showed against Valdinis Silva. Just half a minute in, he landed a rib-crushing spinning back kick.
Они не спешат, не форсируют события, хотя отличный удар с разворота нанес Забит.
Once the damage was done, Zabit finished Silva with brutal ground and pound.
Магомед Шарипова входит мощными ударами и продолжает добивать.
Причем практически не защищается сейчас бразилец.
Да, Вальдинус Сильве нужно активно начинать работать, активно защищаться и выходить из этого положения.
Магомед Шарипова есть у него время даже передохнуть, подготовить атаку. Позволяет ему это делать Вальдинус Сильва. Все!
Да, по-моему, первый же...
On to the next one, Michael Pereira versus Kim Dae-sung. Michael started wild, showcasing his capoeira-style striking with acrobatic flair.
Long right hook.
Oh, he just took a little slip there, he's on his back.
I heard Dae-sung Kim has practiced jiu-jitsu for...
Oh! This is the back flip.
That's
Dae-sung's just edging his way forward though, he gets knocked down.
Nice move by Dae-sung Kim, keeping him off. And another one.
Wow. Splashy, wow, and a side kick to the head. Yeah, he's got to be thinking, how am I going to deal with this unorthodox fighter?
Nice overhand. Cover up.
Nice right hand by Pereira.
And a flying knee, he's got a hold of his head. Whoa, big knee kick.
But the second round was where Pereira stopped playing, finishing Kim with vicious knees from the tie clinch.
That's gonna add up here. Dae-sung takes one. Yeah, and you are absolutely right. He is durable. He takes a front kick to the stomach as well. He's saying, come on.
Body shot by Show.
Both these guys got so much power though. You can hear those shots. Yeah, Pereira's
got to get out of that. He's got to get out of that clinch.
Muay Thai clinch.
Distance is just.
Oh, a big right hand. Yeah, that distance
this
really.
is bad.
Oh, this is not good. That's
wow.
it.
You know, can Pereira deal with that? Sometimes when Pereira's under that pressure, it can be difficult for him to deal with that. He's used.
Next, Jiri Prochazka vs CB Dalloway. From the opening bell, Jiri applied smart, calculated pressure, mixing feints and precise movement.
Good dribble or jab and hook there by CB Dalloway. Hey, that touch back. There's the beautiful job there catching the kick here. Now Prochazka's got his back.
Just 2 minutes into the fight, he let his hands fly, connecting perfectly and sending CB crashing to the canvas.
Frank, I mean, you look at the cut.
Prochazka, it did not take long. 1-2 punches. Game.
Swing those hips around. Can't stop. Roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide. Always.
Next, Mirko Kroka vs Baruto. Ward fight might be stretching it, because it ended fast and painfully for Baruto. As Baruto tried to clinch early, Mirko caught him with a perfectly timed, razor-sharp knee to the body, sending shockwaves through Baruto and making him feel, quite literally, I'm done for today.
We see Mirko doing a good job squaring up right here. He's not really in any danger, he's just kind of getting smothered right now.
Exactly. Mirko needs to dig an underhook and circle his butt back to the center of that cage.
Oh, there you go.
He's down.
Down goes Baruto! Down goes Baruto! It's over!
Unbelievable.
I think that was over. Victorious tonight.
Oh, right on the solar plexus.
Left knee to the solar plexus. He turned through the left hand, and it was all over. Baruto went right down to his back, his chest, to his hands and knees, and they had to call the fight. Right.
World-class striker, gentlemen.
Yeah.
World-class.
Next up, Jiri Prochazka vs Fabio Maldonado. Despite Maldonado's decent boxing skills, Jiri figured him out early and began teeing off. He then trapped him in the corner, spotted the openings, and unleashed a beautiful display of destruction.
Just 1 minute and 49 seconds in the first round. Maya TKO, the winner from the Czech Republic.
見事勝利を収めたイー・プロハースカ選手にはライジンガールよりトロフィーが贈呈されます。
Next, Arman Ospanov vs Lom Ali Eskiev. In the first round, Eskiev pressed hard, trying to smother Arman, while Arman looked for fast counter opportunities. In the second round, Eskiev paid for that aggressive pressure, as Arman perfectly timed a flying knee that ended the fight instantly.
Наглядная иллюстрация того, что смешанный единоборство, особенно на таком высоком уровне, нельзя терять концентрацию ни на секунду. Ни на последних секундах дуэли раунда, ни на самых первых.
Next, Gergi Sharomazanov vs Ali Dikaev. Gergi showcased both his leg dexterity and fight IQ in this one. A few minutes into the fight, after an exchange, he pushed Ali back, measured the perfect distance, and unleashed a spinning heel kick straight from hell. One of the wildest finishes you'll ever witness happened in the fight between Leonardo Limburger and Jihad Yunusov. Leonardo did a great job in the first round, avoiding Yunusov takedowns and punishing him with counters.
What he's expecting for explosion. And here comes the takedown attempt, a single leg. Oh, nice hit. Very nice combination again with a feint from there. Oh, down he goes.
But in the second round, Yunusov showed why you always have to be aware of strikes even during a takedown attempt, unleashing a fight-ending spinning elbow from a completely wild angle.
Thus far, we're having a lot of wrestling here. That's it, oh my goodness! Between Jair Rodriguez and Korean Zombie. When Jair Rodriguez was losing the fight, 5-rounded fight, and afterwards, Jair Rodriguez made practically the same move.
A short but absolutely wild fight took place between Jiri Prochaska and Bruno Capelloza. Capelloza came out swinging, trying to overwhelm Jiri's fight IQ and timing in the savage brawl. But Jiri adapted, found his openings in the violent storm, and began tagging Capelloza, leaving him unconscious just minutes after the opening bell. Next up, Israel Adesanya vs Melvin Gillard. From the opening seconds, Gillard tried to close the distance with clinches and takedowns. By the middle of the first round, Easy began countering Melvin's takedown attempts with his own.
Could just keep Melvin nervous, not knowing what's going to happen. He shoots, goes for the takedown.
Oh, Israel was the takedown in the mount.
Israel
here come the big punches.
By the end of the round, Melvin was in trouble. Easy started landing solid shots, setting up a beautiful show and finishing the fight with ground and pound.
Oh, right hand and the knee. Melvin's going to clinch, wait for the throw.
Beautiful takedown.
And Melvin's turtled again, and the big knees are going to follow. Big right hands.
Melvin's very clear-headed though.
Oh, no! Oh, the body kick. Melvin's got to move. He's got to move here.
Big crushing rights. Israel is just got a big knee. He goes
big knee by Israel. Melvin's stuck in the corner. Israel's going to drop bombs into the ref stops this one.
We've only got 20 seconds left on the
Melvin,
clock.
hang on.
Melvin should be able to make
it.
It's over. It's all over there, you have it.
Excellent.
And there you go. That knee was the one that really signed the death knell for the young assassin.
Next up, Anderson Silva vs Tony Strickland. Anderson right away showed his superiority in striking, his Muay Thai on full display.
That's where Silva's combinations pay off. Oh, good knee. Full knees. We were just saying pretty flat, probably the most dangerous.
At one point in the first round, Anderson landed a super rare reverse elbow that left Strickland caught between consciousness and a knockout.
He's got dominance here as champion. And it's over. It's a reverse elbow. Superb. This is why this man is middleweight champion.
But now we have the Anderson Silva back elbow.
And it was the way his body moved. He turned right and then...
Let's move on to the fight between Rafael Fiziev and Kim Sang-yong. These two didn't bother with any grappling and spent the entire first round throwing leather.
강력한
회전이 있었습니다. 자, 논리도 올라 동체급에서는 우위를 보이는 신체 조건이에요. 보통 키를 보고 거리를 가는 걸 하는데 조금씩 몰고 있는 피니크입니다. 그리고 치고 빠지고 뒷목 잡고 있어요. 자, 라파엘은 라이트 쪽 들어갔습니다. 라이트 김승현 맞았어요. 펀치의 맛을 왼손 급걸어서 상당히 빠른데요.
By the end of the round, Fiziev turned it on, unleashing brutal combination of punches and knees, finishing Kim in devastating fashion. Next up, Mauricio Rufy vs Ronnie Torres. Right from the start, Mauricio showcased his technical and deadly counter-striking, while Torres desperately tried to take the fight to the ground.
It's almost like the question becomes how long until Ronnie takes.
By the second round, Torres' aggressive fighting style began to wear him down. He was visibly exhausted. That's when Rufy started connecting more consistently, and the bloody Torres simply couldn't handle the heat anymore.
Both fighters talking to each other. I mean, if this one goes to the distance, Ronnie Torres would have fought 6 rounds tonight. It's crazy. Beautiful shots here by Mauricio Rufy.
Now you can see Rufy Torres is asking for the knee.
Oh, another spinning kick by Mauricio Rufy that almost ended the fight. All just brushed Ronnie Torres' head. Oh my God, it's over. It's finished and it's done.
And let's wrap it up with Peter Yan's fight against Mateusz Mateusz. This was a grueling bout for both men, as they went to war for 3 rounds. By the 3rd round, Mateusz's face was badly busted up. Yan continued his savagery on the feet, and midway through the round 1 he began tagging Mateusz with a barrage of punches before finishing him with brutal ground and pound.
В разбитую левую часть лица. Включается падает уже на нокаут, пулемет. И бой закончен. Уважаемые телезрители, не хотели бы говорить до боя об этом. А это последний бой по контракту с ACB у Петра Яна.